Well, hello YouTube and Merry Christmas! From us here with this special royal talk to you, King Gabe.
And Queen Tina.
Oh yeah. And we bring this from the North Pole. Well, actually we're in the same place that we've been for the other royal talks, but we're just imagining that it's the North Pole. So if you clicked on the thumbnail, yeah, you probably know what the surprise is now for the special Christmas Royal Talk. It is Jingle All the Way.
A classic back in 1996.
Oh yes. A movie that told a lot about some of the things that some of the campy stuff of Christmas around this time, and some maybe not so high up there, but still definitely a decent film there.
One example is Black Friday, as well as shopping for a certain item at the last minute.
Yes.
And people can relate to that.
Oh yeah. Need I remind you of Tickle Me Elmo and Furby? Oh, Kiki! Ha ha ha! Oh, Coco! I had two of those Furbies. Well, that was a while ago. But straight from the movie comes Turboman. Give me the Turboman. This was the MacGuffin of the movie. Yeah. Now not like a MacGuffin you would see in Chronicles of Narnia or Lord of the Rings. Not that level of MacGuffin, but definitely it was pretty much the driving force of the movie's plot, majority of it, along with a few other things. But yeah, pretty much the Turboman.
If this action figure Turboman was more shinier, it would have been the deluxe edition.
Yes, that's the only difference when you watch the movie for yourself. You'll notice the difference in their Turboman and the one we got. I recently picked this guy up. I think like a couple of months ago. I think like last month they put him on the shelf at Walmart. I was surprised they had him. And you probably heard, may have been a little longer than that, because you probably remember me doing a earlier toy review in my do-do-do, boys. So, but if you hadn't seen that review, just a quick brief, just like in the movie.
You can always count on me.
Yep.
Beware of evildoers.
And of course he lights up, and of course his legs light up there. And that's not the only thing. He also has his jetpack. I'll try it again because I have my hand on it.
Now that's cool.
It's turbo time!
I can imagine.
Turbo time.
I can imagine a turbo woman.
Have to ask the studio on that one there.
Or a turbo woman.
Yeah. Yeah. They gave us Turboman and Booster, but we didn't hear any talk about that there. And of course, he also had these turbo shooter disc things there. Now, this is the only nitpick with the figure. The only nitpick, at least the only nitpick I find with the one I have. Now, somebody else might be doing. I might be doing this wrong. But yeah, you're supposed to attach the shooter to his arm, and have the disc in there. Now the nitpick is it does not stay on too well there. Yeah, that's the only little thing. It's on there now, but the least little touch it'll pop right off. So, yeah, I'll pick that up after the review. At least I got a few others back here. But everything else is in good working order on them, including the turbo ring in his pocket. In his pocket, as Chris Rock would say. Now this actually goes in his hand pretty well. See, like that. So that actually stays in his hand pretty well there. And, you know, in the movie, he would, wow, whoa, 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 and get the drop on I think his villain, his arch nemesis, Dementor. I think it was Dementor.
It is Dementor.
Oh, okay. And Kim Possible has a villain named Dementor. It is Dementor, who I think is German. So yeah, to Turboman. And of course the old 90s movement joints. You know how the 90s movement joint, what? Not like we got our toys a little different now, but yeah. And mostly because, all the electronics in them and stuff like that. So, gotta give them a pass for that there. But because of that, definitely a mark of the 90s.
At least he's flexible.
Oh, yes. As Jamie say, I want the Turboman figure that with the arms and legs and the rocket launcher and the big voice box that go, it's turbo time!
I bet like over 10 or 20 years from now, this Turboman will worth a lot of money.
In a way, yeah. In a way, it probably will. Cause that's the funny thing. I don't. Because I probably would have caught this as a kid. Going in the toy store and stuff. But yeah, they did not put this. I did not ever remember seeing this in KB Toys or Toys R Us or anything. Back in '96 when the movie was out there. Granted, I didn't know about the movie back then, but yeah, you think something like this would have been out. But I guess somebody said, "Hey, remember that Jingle All the Way movie? Let's make a Turboman figure and see who buys it." And then I came along. Hey, that guy with the glasses that does those YouTube videos about his comics and toys, I bet he'll buy a figure. And he'll go tell his friends at Kroger. Probably that Night Stalker guy that'll probably buy one. Well, I guess they got me with that one. As they put it on the fishing line, and I guess I pulled it up. I was the fish. So I'm gonna be holding on to this while we do our review to make the review authentic.
Sure.
So Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the one that started, and because of him in this movie, we got the meme. Put that cookie down.
I know the critic came up with that meme.
Yeah, nostalgia critic, yes. And that's why we have that joke today. Along with a put that cookie down, put it down. Oh my goodness. If only now somebody would make a song out of Damamu, I come to bargain with you. I come to bargain with you. Okay, so anyway, so with the movie Jingle All the Way, movie started off, of course, with Turboman and the action scene, and fighting the evil Dementor and his demon squad, and with some help from his sidekick Booster, who unfortunately Walmart did not have in the store. Otherwise, I possibly would have had him. I probably would have been, been able to have him to show you guys as well.
I don't know what's up with people dissing Booster.
Yeah, and that's to say, they even do it in the movie. Not just the grown folks, but even the kids that watch Turboman.
They dislike Booster. It's like people disliking Robin from the Batman series. Yeah,
especially after the Batman animated series. You had Dick Grayson, Robin, then Tim Drake. I mean, really?
I know throughout the movie you'll see some Booster hate.
Yeah, and it really piles up towards the end of the movie. Oh my goodness, it's kind of ridiculous. I have to say that's one part of the movie I kind of find ridiculous. Like, seriously?
I understand they would hate the mentor since he's the villain, but Booster?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a sidekick, but he's still a good guy.
Yes. Please show me some love.
Do I have to go and do I have to do the same thing they had that Brittany mean did? Leave Booster alone. He's people.
I know Booster is pink and he looked like he's either a guinea pig or a hamster or some type of rodent hybrid. I don't know.
Kind of hard to say because I know he got some tusks on him. Tusks on him for some reason. Yeah, so probably some kind of alien creature, maybe, possibly.
Hey, imagine him as a Chuck E. Cheese mascot.
That could possibly work.
Yeah.
So yeah, Turboman and Booster in action, everything, and a lot of other critics have given this movie a bad rap there, especially with the Turboman part. But let me tell you, so yeah, like I say, even with little nitpicks in here and there, we're gonna definitely try to give this movie a good rep. And from someone like me who's grown up with Power Rangers and Big Bad Beetleborgs, shows like that, and VR Troopers, yeah, something like Turboman seems pretty cool to me.
I know for some people it's a guilty pleasure.
Yep. Yeah, that Turboman was definitely the reason I picked up the movie after I saw the Nostalgia Critics review of it. And picked up the movie, and in my case, I actually enjoyed it because I enjoyed Arnold Schwarzenegger as Turboman. So, jumping ahead of myself. So, oh, and then there's one thing, speaking of critics, yeah, Double Toasted, they really poked fun at how the little boy Jamie, who's the son of Arnold's character Howard, how he's obsessed with the Turboman and everything. You know, he got Turboman's shirt, he wants the figure, he got the cereal and all that. Seems that way, but look, he's a kid though. If you're a kid and you're into something like the way I was, I just stated, growing up, Power Rangers or Pokemon or, you know, like I said, Big Bad Beetleborgs or any of the superheroes like Spider-Man or something like that. You're into any of those things and you got a really great interest in it, especially as a kid, you're going to want a lot of stuff from what you're interested in. I mean, and even now, Transformers, hello! Sorry about that, baby. But, yeah, point being, I mean, all those, all behind me and what you've seen in my toy reviews, yeah. Okay, so, I wouldn't really say that's an obsession there, but, I mean, you like something, yeah, you're gonna collect stuff from it and, you know, want it. Especially as a kid. Now, an obsession, I would say probably would be, especially, just say in my case, if it's time for me to be at work, and all of a sudden, like, I'm supposed to be at work at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's 8 o'clock. Anybody seen Gabe? He's supposed to been up here and opened up and set the rack up and stuff. He's not even here. And when you call me, I'm here at the house. Turbo time!
You're obsessed with the Turboman?
Yeah, now see, that would be obsessed because now it's been taking over my priorities there. Yeah, so, yeah, that's a difference between obsession and just really liking something a lot.
I know it's too easy for all females to like boy bands and being obsessed with boy bands.
Pretty much there.
Yes.
But yeah, but like I say, it's the but if you know when and where to do it, like it's not like you're able to still go about other things in your life there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if it interferes with other things in your life, especially important things, yeah, then you're obsessed. Yeah.
Like you just need serious help.
Yeah, like you're with it too much. Yeah, that's so.
Like you pay more attention to your obsession more than the people around you.
True.
Especially the most important people, like your family.
Yep, especially don't get me started with marriage. Say,
Yeah, marriage, for example.
yeah, like say, Gabe, you coming to bed? Turbo Tar. So yeah, that would be another example of that. What you just said there.
And if this continues, well, the marriage is over.
Yeah, I'll be left alone. I'll be left alone with this bookshelf.
At least you still have your Turbo Man.
But I'm gonna be missing out on some other things outside of the toys. I like having the toys, but there's some other things I like too, and I'll be so lonely. so yeah, that just to clear that up for you, double toast it. So now with the movie, we see what what Howard is like. He's a workaholic dad, and there's a party going on this particular day because Jamie's supposed to be having this karate tournament, and his mom's of course taking him. Howard should have been home to come to the tournament with them, and he's still at work trying to trying to think what that business mattresses.
He sell mattresses.
Yes. Don't forget, you're my number one customer. Yeah, even though there's a Christmas party downstairs, and you would think if a Christmas party is going on that that the business part of this company would be closed so all the employees can have a good time.
It makes you wonder, is he like one of the employees like under the boss, or he's the head boss? It does make you wonder.
Yeah.
Is he the head boss of the company he's working in?
Well, regardless of his position, what makes this even more feeding into him being a workaholic is the fact that he's being told that he needs to go attend his son's karate tournament by his employers, his secretary. Usually in a lot of movies it's the other way around, where you're under a boss man who's telling you to do this and do that, and you're like, I gotta get to do this with my family, but I need to do this. Yeah, usually it's like that, but in this case it's okay, you need to go home to your family. No, I got one more thing to take care of. You're my number one customer.
I think there are sometimes these workaholic dads use work as a distraction to get away from it all, like families or other things that they don't think their life is more enjoyable. It can be a distraction.
That actually could be, maybe not completely, but that could be a good scenario comparison with Tim Allen's Santa Claus, being that he's in, that divorce thing there.
Yeah.
So, and kind of distant from his family, whereas in Howard's case, well, it seems like he kind of is, but I guess in a way, you could say that maybe there is maybe he's, I would say maybe like an overachiever obsession.
Oh, like you want to be the best at everything.
Right, especially on his job. He wants to try to pretty much similar. This actually something like this happened in Click too.
Yeah.
With what's his name? Adam Sandler's character. Yeah. He was always going from this to that and this and that. Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of similar to that. It doesn't go as far as Adam Sandler's character did in his movie, but yeah, we get a little taste of that. So then he tries to get to his. And then there's also the fact that his secretary is trying to tell him about the karate tournament with cue cards, almost similar to the cue cards that we had to use with Dean Richmond.
which were just file folders. If was this day and age, it would either be dry erase boards or just a tablet.
Pretty much, yeah. So then apparently he finally gets the memo and tries to get to the karate tournament, which he is late for. Since it started, we get to see the annoying neighbor Ted, who apparently all the ladies in the neighborhood are now at this karate tournament as well, watching their kids, and are trying to. Hey Ted, can you do this for me? Oh Ted, I really love this from you, Ted.
Trying to give him some treats.
And Ted's like,
I know he's going for that one treat, which is Howard's wife.
Yeah, you probably, and the first thing probably come to a lot of people's mind, and I will give Double Toasted a lot of points for. Yes, they nailed this criticism right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you when you're right. The thing with Ted, people wonder, well, why doesn't he just go with any of these other, just pick one of these other women that's throwing themselves at him? Here's the thing. Ted is pretty much like, as Love Don't Cost a Thing would say, Urkel gone gangster. He wants to be the playboy. And in being a playboy, he wants to get what he knows is difficult to get. These ladies throwing themselves at him, he already got them. He wants to get the forbidden fruit. He wants a challenge. And Howard's wife is the challenge, especially considering that Howard is played by Arnold Schwarzenegger and could pretty much body press him.
Or just punch him.
Yeah, but see, but he's pretty sly in how to get around that. Pretty much like the way Batman got around the Injustice group and made his escape. So, Ted's gonna be a major. It's gonna be a running gag and pretty much an antagonist for this movie. We have a running gag with the annoying police cop that stops Howard on his way to the karate tournament to make him do silly things like reciting the alphabets.
Forwards as well as backwards.
Yeah, what police cop? Okay, a police cop. Now, he pulled Howard over because he was driving on the shoulder of the road. Okay, I can see that. Kind of petty, but I can see why that would happen. Sort of like, a while back when I made the mistake of making a right turn at a red light and didn't realize there was a sign that said "Do not turn on red." And of course, the officer gave me a pass when I, just explained it to her and cooperated and everything. So, but this cop ain't quite like the one that stopped me, though. Yeah, he has to be a butthole and a goofball, and pretty much humiliate him.
It'll be worse if Howard was black and the cop was white, and made him do the same things. I
guess that would be switching Howard with Sinbad's character. Say, Marlon. I think
Myron.
Myron. Yeah, I guess if Myron was the star of the movie, oh boy. So after that humiliation, the tournament's over, and he done missed it. I didn't make it. And of course and I have to admit that because this was kind of funny. Thanks, Arnold. I never would have guessed that if he didn't say anything. When Nostalgia Critic, what is this movie for the blind? I'm walking down the hallway. I walk down the hallway. I run into an empty gym with the janitor and look at what the douchebag I am and say, I didn't make it.
Ow.
It's a little critical, but I couldn't help but to laugh at that joke. I'm sorry. It was funny when I looked at the review.
I guess by the time he arrived, it might have been around 9 or 10 o'clock. by the time he arrived there.
Possibly. So, so then he gets back home and sees Ted decorating his house. Thank you, Ted. That was really nice of you. So nice. I'm so proud of you.
Even though he's angry?
You're so smiling.
Smiling, but deep down inside you're angry.
Oh boy.
You're angry at the same time, but you're trying to keep us a happy face.
Much like the critic was with my tea and Suburban Nights.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. Yeah. You got, like I say, it's the silliness you gotta check out in this movie. It is worth checking out. It's very goofy, but you gotta see it to believe it. And that gives the studio that made this movie more money. I just made y'all a buck. So apparently Jamie is mad at his dad about missing the karate tournament, and of course Howard tries to cheer him up, and apologize, of course, in his own unique way. Takes a while, but eventually they do come to terms. Especially when he offers to get Jamie a Turboman figure, and as Jamie would describe it, I want that Turboman. I want the Turboman figure that with the move the arms and legs and the kick and the rocket launcher and the voice that box that says it's turbo time. So of course this gets Howard excited, like, yeah, we bonded over this turbo, we bonded over the Turboman and everything, and it turns out Howard was actually asked to get this 2 weeks ago.
And he forgot. I think the reason why he forgot because of work.
Yeah, kind of like that opening scene with him at work, kind of. Yeah, we draw a line back to that kind of answers the question. And this is the thing that bothered me in the movie, throughout this whole movie. Why do they keep calling this a doll?
Maybe the reason why, because the height. I think it's because the height. Even though even though it's supposed to be an action figure.
Exactly.
Not a doll.
Exactly.
A doll is a Barbie doll.
Right. There's a big difference. Now, granted, there are some, and I'm not saying anything against the boy playing with a doll. Don't get me wrong. It's not, I have nothing against that. But I'm just stating there's a big distinct difference between action figures and dolls. Like she just said, a Barbie. There's a Barbie doll, of course.
Yes.
And there are other dolls other than that. Yeah, some boys do play with, whether they call it a doll or not. You have Woody from Toy Story. He is a doll, a cowboy doll, actually. And also there was this doll that Will Smith had, but yeah, he'll probably correct me for saying this. That Don Cornelius doll he had in one of the episodes, which he called an action figure, but it really was a doll. Will you quit playing with that doll, Will? Action figure, action figure. Afro Pixel separately.
Because he is a man.
Yeah, and see what really. Oh, and of course I have to do this. I am a man. And the thing that even bothers me more so is that not only are the parents and other people calling Turboman a doll, but the kid is calling him a doll.
What?
Yeah. Again, like I say, I know it's a rare case, but some boys might be into this type of thing, but most boys would know with action figures from their dolls and probably would not be too keen to say doll, even if they actually had one, like the Woody doll.
By the way the kid looks in the movie, he looked like he's around 6 years old, and he don't know. I don't think he don't know the difference between an action figure and a doll just yet, since his mind's still developing.
Even though you kind of think he would. Yeah, 'cause that's kind of something you think a kid would pick up on without it's not like you have to actually put them in school to learn that. That's kind of something that just comes to them by instinct most of the times. Yeah, some things kids just automatically pick up on. So, of course, Howard forgot to get it. And on top of that, he might be possibly too late. Dun, dun,
Him
dun,
in
dun,
shock.
Yep. Uh-oh. How's he gonna get out of this one?
I guess he has to think fast.
Oh, boy. So, apparently, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, so apparently he has to go out and get him and get one there. He tells his wife that he has to go pick it up at the office.
It turns out it's Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah, and yeah, Ted makes us very aware of that. Oh, so where you going, neighbor? Oh, check it out. I got my son a reindeer.
A vicious reindeer.
Must be something he doesn't like about you. Must be like an aftershave or something. You know how many if y'all have seen this movie or probably go check it out after watching this review, let me know in the comments how many of y'all wanted that reindeer to come after Ted.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I was. Wouldn't that have been much funnier?
Yeah.
So now once Howard gets to the store, we run into Byron, played by Sinbad, of course, that we all know from Good Burger.
Well, actually, it's Myron.
Myron, sorry.
Yeah.
My note had it spelled wrong. Forgive my notes. So, apparently, he's another running gag, and kind of, as one of my friends at work, when we were talking about the movie, say, sort of, he's a protagonist too, but a different kind of protagonist. He sort of bounces back and forth between being one and then somewhat being on the side of our hero, Howard. A lot of this and he makes this known in the movie, that he's kind of unstable. Yeah, he comes out and lets us know that there.
So unstable that he is so unstable that he ranted out of anger in order to be in the store first before everyone else, but turns out it didn't work.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because he's so like, and then they spent billions of dollars and suck your children's mind out. And then you, the father, who's working hard, hard with a wife, pay alimony pay on the wife, with everybody at the post office, but me.
It makes you wonder, is it in the script or he just ad-lib all that?
He probably something like that. I would be surprised if it was in the script, because something like that sound like it had to be ad-lib. I highly doubt anyone would have thought to write that other than the character themselves.
Yeah.
Sort of like Mike Epps and Roscoe Jenkins. He ad-libbed everything in his line in that movie. He did not read a script at all. So I think Sinbad, for his character, I think he ad-libbed that. Even the part of choking a lady in there. I guess, and as she say, it was he probably wanted everybody to like
run because
and
he's unstable.
Right, and then he'd be the only one to go in the store. But I hate to tell you, Myron, there's another way that situation could have went. Your plan didn't work, and they're still there. But you could have not been so fortunate, and since they could have gotten really mad at your performance and ganged up on you for disturbing the peace. Just saying, it could happen. But and yeah, it's pretty. So yeah, so we got Discord message. So of course. This is the end of.
And I know And when the store opened, everyone came in all at once trying to get Turboman. It turns out Turboman's completely sold out.
Yeah, and they trampled over the salesman. Yeah, this is in the movie.
It's funny.
It's funny, but in real life,
It's not.
It's very tragic because sadly, not too long ago, somebody died getting trampled by a bunch of customers in a Black Friday sale.
And we don't know if the employee was male or female, young or old.
Yeah, news report probably. It's been a while since we saw the report there, but yeah, it wasn't that. Yeah, real life was not so funny.
It can happen to anyone,
Yeah,
even a non-employee. They will be trampled like that.
right. So. Yeah, so it seems like the Turbomen are all sold out there. We got two salesmen having a laughing fit. So I can't quite do it like they do. He's got to look for a Turboman.
I think these were actual employees from the store trying to get a big paycheck to be in this movie.
So someone said like, "Hey, y'all want to be extras in the film?" And they just overacted.
Yeah.
Is that good? The Turboman about the highest toy seller good. Hi, I'm overacting my part so I can get a really big check.
I can tell both of them were young adults.
But of course, Arnold got them to calm down a bit. Where's your Christmas spirit? And I think I'm just assuming this. I'm not saying this actual fact. I assume Arnold probably wanted to go Terminator on these two, but then had probably somebody made him realize he was in a somewhat PG kid film, so he couldn't exactly do any Terminator action.
If it was PG-13 or R-rated, he would.
Yeah, and his character's supposed to be a caring father parent trying to redeem himself, not a cybernetic robot. Can't quite do that.
And I think one of the employees or customers mentioned that they put their Turboman on layaway. And why would somebody put a Turboman on layaway? What's next? They will put a big pack of paper towels or toilet tissue on layaway?
Well, as D.L. Hughley said in his stand-up comedy, you'd be surprised at what folks would put on layaway. He said people have put stuff like 8-track players on layaway. When did I get an 8-track player? Well, it's paid for now. Oh my God.
I understand a phone or even a diamond ring.
Or a car.
Yeah, a car.
Something that costs a lot of money, like thousands of dollars, stuff like that.
Yes.
Or at least in the hundreds at least.
That you have to pay monthly until it's fully paid.
Right. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, something like this. Come on now. As Adam Sandler said, come on now.
You could just pay this in full.
Yeah, don't you know that? You can pay in full. Pay in full now. Come on. So after that, we get a montage of Howard trying to go from store to store while chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Shot looking from store to store.
And people were laughing at him. And he took out his frustrations on a cardboard Turboman.
And nobody kicked him out because they were too afraid to come near him.
And he thinks all hope is lost until a random person say, there's plenty of Turboman at a place called Toy Works.
Oh yeah. Oh, and also during that montage, I noticed they had some pretty interesting figures on those shelves. They had Stuff like, pardon my French, I have to call out his name, Hellboy and Ghost Rider.
What?
Those are not kid-friendly characters there. I'm sorry. Especially Hellboy, you putting that on the toy aisle shelf? That's about as bad as that video I made back here ago where I discovered South Park on the toy aisle. Yeah, somehow I don't see Cartman being very kid-friendly.
He's never kid-friendly.
And then Ghost Rider, oh yeah. I mean, I can understand something like RoboCop. I mean, yes, he has R-rated movies, but he also has a kid-friendly cartoon series, though. So he can be marketed that way. But yeah, try making a cartoon animated kid series out of Hellboy. It's not gonna work.
Like, why don't you just make Hellboy as well as Ghost Rider villains?
Pretty much, yeah. Because that's, I mean, as John Cena pointed out about the Decepticons and Bumblebee, Decepticons, hello. We are Decepticon peacemakers. oh, this is embarrassing. Oh Lord. So,
what's next? Autobot terrorist?
Or as a joke the critic said, seriously, how could we not put together I seriously don't see how we couldn't figure out that the Decepticons were going to be the bad guys. I mean, they were called Decepticons, but we were declaring war at that time on the Trustworthians.
The Trustworthian.
That probably was a very stupid idea in hindsight, too. Okay. So, going to that store, what you said was,
Toy Works.
Toy Works, okay.
And it's located in the world's largest mall in America called the Mall of America.
I think you've been in that mall, haven't you?
No, because I mentioned that as a kid, I always wanted to go to this mall, but I didn't get a chance to because I don't know where it was at.
Oh, okay.
Until they tell us the locations in Minnesota, and I was in California.
Oh, darn.
If this mall still exists today, I bet there's not too many stores left. I know it's updated, but there might not be too many stores left. But it'll still be open to the public.
Possibly, yeah.
Since online shopping took over now.
Yeah. If we look it up, we probably will find out if it is or not.
Yeah, hopefully it is.
Yeah, would be nice to visit that if it's still up there.
Yeah, they even have an indoor theme park.
Yes, the ball with that ball pit they show in the movie.
Yeah.
We're getting to that part there. We're getting to that part.
Yeah.
So before going in there, we also get another appearance from Ted, who's trying to put the move on Howard's wife when he makes a phone call to check in on them. And of course, we get that line, "Put that cookie down!" Who told you could touch my wife's cookies? Oh, these cookies are delicious.
Why don't you eat the entire thing?
He made it sound like he was.
Just grab a plate and go.
Like, you stay away from my wife. You stay away from my cookies. You stay away from my wife's cookies. Cookie! Oh, man. Put that cookie down! Yeah, and then, of course, there's even, this line. Like, look, just put my wife on the phone. She's in the shower, Howard. You want me to go check? No! No! Oh, he would want that. Oh, you would want that, wouldn't you, Ted?
If it was Will Smith's hearing that line, he was like, "Oh, hell no."
Hey, we said Hellboy, might as well.
Yeah.
We might as well. We're family picture. So apparently, after that, we also get one other running gag from the officer accused from the officer when his mirror gets broken. And of course, Sinbad, who tries to team up with Howard, but when Howard refuses, he then accuses Howard of being racist.
What?
Really? Is this... Did you really have to bring in... Is there a thing with Sinbad having to do racism in movies that he's in, like this one, and even Good Burger from Nickelodeon?
Like, seriously?
Like, you know what? I hate to put a black man in jail, but you... And which Forrest Keenan told her, no, you ain't gonna put black man in jail, no, you put black man in jail, like,
By the way, Sinbad look, I can tell he's mixed because he might have some white in his family.
think so?
Yes. That's my opinion. He might have some white in his family.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's...
I'm just assuming.
If that's true, that raises some eyebrows with his character's behavior.
That's raises further questions.
That's the way he was saying.
Almost make him look like a hypocrite.
And you see, a hypocrite is when someone says something and then they explode. Oh, I'm bad at this. So at this store, apparently they're doing a drawing for Turboman. If anybody gets this ball, but everybody goes nuts for it. And of course, Myron tries to get 2 balls. He got 2! He got 2! And so we have Arnold trying to chase after one of the balls, which goes into this little girl's carriage, who goes into the ball pit, and we get a very creepy image of Howard coming after her. Yeah, this muscle-bound Arnold Schwarzenegger chasing a little girl for a ball. Yeah, that doesn't look inconspicuous at all, now does it? Hi, little girl. See the rich boy? You want to trade? You're kind of making it creepy when you say it like that, Arnold. Which is why he gets pummeled by a bunch of moms with purses.
Like, what are you trying to do?
And I can't help but to imagine this happening to Johnny Bravo. Hey,
Well, he's been dumped all the time.
Yeah, that'd be too easy for Johnny.
Hey, imagine him as a husband.
Considering that he could ever get a date first, he'd have to get a date first to get to that point. Oh. If he keeps getting rejected, I don't think that's going to be in Johnny's future.
Don't get me started if he had a kid.
Again, he still have to at least get a lady. Unless he adopts a kid, maybe. Although I'm not sure if the adoption agency would trust Johnny Bravo with a kid. As my mom says, he's an idiot. So Howard then meets a Santa Claus that offers to get him a Turboman on the black market in a secret location that's kind of like a cult. With a bunch of other Santas. He charges him $300 for it, but it turns out to be a very bad bilingual bootleg Turboman. Yeah, you know, and I say a very bad one because I've seen some bootleg toys before, like on Phalus's channel when he showed the bootleg Garfield. But at least the bootleg Garfield was in one piece. Yeah, this Turboman fell apart the minute he opened the box.
In my opinion, he should just check the box first, as well as check the action figure first before he gives him the $300. Exactly. Yeah. And he did that. He just paid first and then get the toy because he was desperate.
Yep. So this leads to him having that fight with the Santa Claus, like I showed in that little promo of before we did our Nutty Professor Royal Talks, where I had my face dubbed on Arnold Schwarzenegger, by the way. And then the cops show up and to clear everything out. And and back over with Ted. Ted has a son, by the way, who states that it's just him and his dad, Ted, of course, because mom divorced Ted. Gee, I wonder why. and says being divorced is not so bad. Hey, hey Jamie, maybe your parents should get a divorce. Want to go play with some bubbles?
Hey, imagine a female perspective of a mom and a daughter.
Oh boy. Well, be it male or female, when we have our just a note, when we do finally have our first kid in the future, and they get a little older and have a friend come over here and everything, if we catch that friend of theirs telling them something like, maybe your mom and dad should get a divorce.
What?
You're either gonna not be telling our kid that, or you're not gonna be playing with them anymore.
Or even her.
Or her. Yeah, you're not. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure your folks know exactly what you said too. Cause we don't. We don't have that talk in this house, kiddo. I don't know how things go in your household, but not in this one. Not under this roof. And you're not gonna influence our kid to be that way. Nope. So apparently Howard tries to call for his wife, but Jamie answers and doesn't hand his mom the phone because she's petting a reindeer. And if this had been me and my mom and my dad was asking to speak to her, yeah, I would have handed her the phone because I'd be in big trouble if I didn't. The only way I would not hand my mom the phone is if she was, as Ted said, in the shower or something like that.
Or the bathroom in general.
Right. And said told me to take a message there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, yeah, petting a reindeer, yeah, you can still go get her. However, but don't worry, a little bit later they'll fix this up. But you heard the old saying, things get worse before they get better.
Yes.
Well, in this case, that happens because of Jamie's going on about the Turboman. Howard explodes, and when he catches himself, it's too late because then Jamie gets upset there and hangs up on him.
Well, emotions are contagious. When one person gets upset, the other person also gets upset.
Yeah, so it's kind of a lot going on with that there.
Yeah.
So then Howard goes to a bar to sort of, try to think of what he's gonna do.
More like a diner.
A diner, sorry. Yes. While taking a drink, and we see Sinbad's Byron come back, and he explains that he never forgave his father for not getting him a toy that he wanted, Johnny Omega.
Well, I think a 7 Army gun.
Oh, okay. Oh,
an OMA gun. 1-man Army gun, yes.
Sounds like Byron. Oh, a gun. Oh. Suddenly Byron's Christmas wish is making me think of Christmas Story right now. You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah. I think he called it a 1-man Army gun. OMA gun. Yeah.
Considering if his parents were like the parents in Christmas Story, that may explain why he didn't get it. When you think about it. So he said he never got it, and he never forgave his father for it there. And then Howard thinks, what if this happens to my son? Here's to you, Dad. Oh dear. So he figures that he can't give up. Turns out another opportunity for Turboman shows up at the radio station, but it's for a gift certificate there, and apparently Howard busted in the radio station for nothing.
If it was in this day and time, it would be gift cards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, gift cards to any place.
Been a while since we've had gift certificates there.
Yeah, I think they don't use gift certificates anymore, only gift cards.
And going back to that story that that Byron told us earlier about never forgiving his father and the unstableness, this kind of explains the unstableness that he tends to have off and on in this movie. When he pulls out a bomb, well, at least what he thinks is a bomb in one of the packages. Yeah, oddly enough, there's been a time where people would actually mail this kind of thing.
And that's before 9/11.
Yeah, it was a very scary, dark fact of the world, and not sort of like Michael Jackson's incident of why he wrote the song Billie Jean, because a lady claimed that she had Michael's baby, who Michael had never met this lady before, and eventually he got a package from this lady with another letter, and in the package was a gun, and the letter say, if I can't be with you in the world of the living on this day, I will kill myself and the baby, and I want you to shoot yourself so we can be together in the afterlife, Michael.
Oh, she is crazy.
Yeah, and really scared Michael pretty bad that his mom had to calm him down. Thank God for his mother there.
I think Michael Jackson was like in his 20s at that point.
Yeah, he was pretty frightened there, but once he got calmed down and his mom, talked, kind of coped him through this, that's why we got the song Billie Jean. Yeah, so this explains why we got stuff like this referenced in this movie. Yeah.
And you can't do that no more.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, they check every package now.
So, turns out, the first time that Myron does this threat, it's not really a bomb, but then he takes out a second one to invade the police, and it actually is a bomb. And he has the nerve to say it's a sick world. You're the one that pulled this out.
And the world is still sick through this day. It's still sick.
Yep. So after all that madness, turns out that Arnold ends up having to get Howard. I keep calling him Arnold, but we know that's the guy who plays him. Yeah. Howard ends up getting his truck towed, his car towed, because it got wrecked some kind of way. And when he gets home, he sees Ted trying to put the star up on the tree. Now, of course, his wife stops Ted, but the fact that he was attempting to do that, Howard decides to get revenge by stealing Ted's Turboman, but he sort of regrets it because of the fact that he's robbing from a kid in the process of doing this there. However, he doesn't get to put it back in time because the reindeer attacks, causing him to start a fire in the house and, well, get busted. And his wife gets mad at him and leaves for the parade with Ted. You can't bench press your way out of this one.
And that's the part when Ted sounds serious.
Wow.
Now that's a breakthrough.
I am terrified now. So Howard once again decides to take one more chance. One more shot. He's got it. This is the finale of the movie. So
a chance at redemption.
Yep. And with Ted trying to put the moves on his wife, oh, it's on. And of course, and when I mean put the moves on his wife, there's a scene where Ted's alone in the car with Howard's wife and tries to lean over to kiss her, and she slaps him with eggnog.
If it was me in her position, I would just hit him with a thermos of either hot coffee or even hot grits or even hot chili, and possibly punch him in the face.
And since it's Christmas time, maybe I would say hot cocoa. I would suggest hot cocoa.
Yeah.
Since it's Christmas time.
Boiling hot cocoa.
Oh boy.
Boiling hot. Or even soup.
And y'all know she said she mentioned the grits. You know who's referenced to that?
Green.
Love and happiness. Yeah, they did that in Medea Family Reunion. I've been looking for you all day, and all of a sudden she turned around. And while he's on the floor, burning from the grits, well, he's on the floor like this, and she just went to whamming him between his legs with that skillet several times while he was burning. As the song "Love and Happiness" play. He ain't gonna be getting up for a while.
No.
Yeah, he gonna need some police escorts for that.
Yeah.
And they can book him for abuse to his fiance while they're at it. So back to Jingle all the way. So then there's a final cop chase there from that running gag cop, which leads Howard to becoming Turboman. This sounds like a job for Turboman.
Yeah.
Which he really accidentally gets into this because he hides in this area where they're preparing Turboman. And turns out their original guy didn't show up yet, so they mistaken Howard for him. And get him dressed up in there along with Booster, of course. who mistakens Howard for Mary Poppins for some reason.
Even though he don't look like Mary Poppins, and he's not Mary Poppins.
And that'd be an awkward image.
Ew.
So, and of course this leads to the climax and the highlight of the movie. Well, of course, like I mentioned, Arnold Schwarzenegger now is Turboman, and he gets a Turboman figure, and is told to give it to a kid in the crowd, and of course, Jamie! He knows my name. And gives him the Turboman action figure. And it's such a touching moment. You think it's the end of the movie until Myron shows up dressed as the villain.
In order to get the Turboman action figure.
Oh boy.
He doesn't give up.
And there's one thing I got a question about. Okay, earlier in the movie when they showed the Turboman cartoon, the villain Dementor was able to fire his fist. Now, I guess I'm assuming maybe Dementor's like a cyborg or something where he can fire his fist out like that. Maybe a cyborg, or maybe that's just a TV effect or something for the show. But since this parade scene is supposed to be somewhat real life, I mean, it's still a movie, but somewhat real life for the characters, how in the world was Myron able to fire that fist action?
Could be magic.
Well, apparently Myron's gotten a hold of some things that we don't know. And of course, Booster gets beat up by the kids. Yeah, this is the major nitpick of why Booster gets so much hate. Yeah, because because Dementor, or should I say, Myron pushes Booster off the float. Okay, I can understand that because he's being a jerk. But for some reason, instead of the kids helping Booster up, they start beating up on Booster.
Like, what did he do?
Kids, the villain is up there on the float with Turboman. Why are you beating up the sidekick? It's like if the Joker knocked Robin off of something, and Batman was having to deal with the Joker, and all of a sudden a bunch of people just started beating Robin up for some reason.
Ow.
Not cool.
Don't get me started if this happened to Blank Man and the other guy.
Oh, Lord. Well, granted, they didn't give other guy very much recognition, but at least he didn't get beat up, though.
Yes. He will say, can we all just get along? Rodney King, Rodney King.
Well, Sinbad said that earlier.
Yeah.
Rodney King, Rodney King. So then this leads to a fight between Turboman and Dementor. He actually flies with a real jetpack, of course. Oh yeah, it's Turbo time! And and he's able to save Jamie in time, and even and because of that earlier scene where Jamie messed up, on the phone and everything, he actually confesses what he did earlier, and is very apologetic about it there, which is pretty emotional there, and you got to give the kid credit for realizing that there. Which and it's even more emotional when how your dad's not mad at you. He loves you very much, Jamie. How do you know that? Well, because I'm Howard. What? Yep. So, and because of this, Jamie decides to give his Turboman figure to Byron. Because even though he did a lot of bad things throughout the movie here and out, as he mentioned, being unstable, and all in all, he would really just want the same thing that Howard wanted, just Turbo Man for his kid.
And he got the real Turbo Man, which is Howard dressing up like Turbo Man.
Pretty. And you could say that's sort of, you could also think of that as a metaphor too of the redemption of his dad.
Yeah.
The bond with dad and son, sort of a redemption there that, despite how bad he really wanted it, both him and his dad have such a redemption toward the end that they don't need the Turbo Man.
They just need each other.
Mm-hmm. So, in a way, you kind of could give it a bit of a deep meaning to that there. I'm not sure if that's what the movie intended or if Jamie or his dad thought that way, but, as a viewer, you could think, it's left open to interpretation. And, of course, this gives us a very good ending until, if you went through all this trouble for Jamie, why did you get me? Dun 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 dun. Cut to the end of the movie. I can't explain it. Cut to the movie. End the movie.
Well, I know the next day she'll be disappointed.
Well, that's a good thing it's a movie.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Well, in real life, it's kind of unknown how that would have went there. It all depends on the couple.
Yeah.
So, yep. So that's our review of Jingle All the Way. It has a lot of crazy moments, as we pointed out, a lot of crazy stuff, nitpicks and everything, but overall and yes, the Black Friday stuff and some of the unnecessary humor, but overall it does have a story that has somewhat of a bit of a heart to it, with the redemption of a father, just he's a workaholic, but then trying to get back with his family as well, especially his kid there. And that's and takes a lot to get to it, but it's definitely a film worth checking out for that, and even gives you a really good scene of Arnold Schwarzenegger in that Turbo Man costume, as well as Turbo Man himself in general. So it's a lot of good to get out of that, and even with the nitpicks, you get some funny moments even with that. That's pretty funny. Depending on you as the viewer, it's all left up to what parts you think are funny or not there, because everybody got a different point of view. But but you're definitely gonna get a laugh somewhere in it. Oh yeah, and possibly more than one. No, I did. So, anything you had to add to that there?
Well, let's just say all kids can relate, especially kids who don't have a father in their lives, who doesn't have a father who doesn't have a father in most of their lives. And I'm one of these people who don't have a father in my life. Well, my father was around, but he just visits. He just visits, so I could just relate to Jamie at times. Except my parents were married. I know I know Jamie always wanted a Turbo Man, but deep down inside, he just want to be with his dad all the time.
Kind of the metaphorical way that I pointed out from my point of view of the climax that the wanting of Turbo Man, because sometime when maybe things aren't going the way we wish they would, we look to other things that fit to how we think things should be in life.
Other things that makes us happy. It makes us happy for a while, but deep down inside, you just want to think to yourself, am I happy? Does this really make me happy?
And
am I missing something?
Right, and the true way of achieving that is basically taking what you do have and working on that, to trying to work at that, making what you have better there. So yep, it's definitely pretty good little point to take out of this what supposedly is a very goofy movie, but yeah, like I say, a very heartfelt message to take out of that there.
Yes.
And definitely worth you guys checking out there. especially for your Merry Christmas and possibly other Christmases.
Yeah. It is the most funniest movie of all time.
and if you can find it, because Lord knows I've had a hard time trying to find this. There was a sequel to this movie that came out years later, and before you say it, the sequel is actually not bad. It's not the same as the first one, with how it was hyped up and everything, but it's not a bad film. No, it's still worth, even the sequel is worth checking out. It's kind of a more quieter, toned down version of what you got in the first movie, but still that same little impact there. Slightly a little different because of the way the characters are, and on top of that, the dad in that movie is being played by Larry the Cable Guy, who is a real sweetheart. So, yeah, you definitely check out that sequel, because how can you not resist watching Larry the Cable Guy?
Yeah, I know it's a standalone sequel. It's a sequel by itself. It's not a continuation of the first.
Oh yeah, with different characters, yes.
Yeah, because many years have passed. Well, more like a decade has passed.
So yeah, definitely. If y'all can definitely find that movie, and if we ever run across it and decide to, depending on how we feel, might possibly talk about it there.
I bet you have to find it online.
There's probably so. So, yep. But is there anything else?
I know Sinbad had a great time being in this film, especially with his comedical timings.
I think a lot of the characters probably had a good time being in this. Him, Ted's actor, Arnold. Lord knows Arnold probably did. I don't know. The only question is, did he have more fun in this movie or Batman and Robin?
Maybe both.
Yeah.
He had to pay the bill somehow.
Yeah, but he had some fun paying that bill though.
Yes.
Iceman coming. Batman, will you be cool? It's a good party. Iceman cometh.
Yeah.
Even though I know that's not really the way you're supposed to portray Mr. Freeze, because he's a real tragic character in Batman lore, but like I say, for what they gave him to work with, he being complete opposite of what he's supposed to be. Yeah, he had to have a lot of fun doing what they gave him to do.
Yeah.
Arnold probably did not know. He probably did not know what Mr. Freeze was probably supposed to really be like, and when they told him, "Okay, this is what you do," he probably just went, "Wee!" I'm in a Batman film, wee!
Out of excitement.
And in this case, I'm a Turboman. Yeah! Oh boy.
Would be cool if he did some backflips.
Well, either way, Arnold, we know you had fun, and we had fun watching you. we had a lot of fun watching you have fun. So keep having fun, man. Yeah.
I know he's up in age by now, but he could still live. He's still kicking it.
All depends on what he wants to do.
Yeah, he can still have fun in his old age. And you could say, I still got it.
I still got it. Like, Anything else there?
I think that's about it. Now Turboman almost remind me of the Flash.
Oh yeah, because of the red coloring and everything.
Well, if you put the Flash and Iron Man in a blender.
That'd be an interesting mix.
Yeah.
Crossover of universes there. Well, since I said that's all from her, and that's all from me. So, if y'all like the video, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, share it with your friends, buy some comic books. Also, be sure to support us on Patreon as well. And also we will see y'all later and hope y'all having a Merry Christmas and we wish you a Happy New Year as well.
Bye everyone, and Merry Christmas.
Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas indeed! Ho ho!